Now we talked about the idea of let this mind be in you. And now we're talking about the inner man. So this is, by the way, for all people out there, and there's probably not a lot of them, but there's enough of you that are like, oh yeah, I'm getting a little worn out with all of this personal development stuff and inner man and heart and thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's get to the, when is Messiah coming and how do we understand the woes and the vials and all that other stuff? No. Paul's prayer to the Ephesians was about the strengthening of the inner man. Because without that, nothing else is going to work for you. No information is going to help you. No knowledge is going to help you. If you are weak in the inner man, you are going to fall short of the finish line. Paul tells us to run the race, to finish the race, to win. And by the way, winning doesn't mean you get there first. Winning means you finish the race and that you did the best you could to get to the end of the race. For the inner man to be strengthened so that you can have Messiah dwell in your hearts through belief, you have to become rooted. What's rooted mean? You have to be in a place and stay in that place so that roots can then sprout and anchor you to that place. Let's kind of make it simple, right? You plant something. You take something, you put it in a garden, you put it in a pot, or whatever it is that you put it in to grow in, and it stays there long enough, roots will start to grow to secure it in that space. So when you're not rooted, you're not secure in the space. Let me say it again. When you're not rooted, you're not securely in that space. You see that in the parable of the sower of the seed. Those that didn't have roots got blown away. But it's love when he disciplines you. It's love when he gives you instructions and guidance. It's love when he tells you what he expects. One of the most loving things in any relationship is to communicate to the other person what you expect and what they can expect from you. This is something that goes on in every marriage counseling I do. Every parent with a child issue. Some employees with their employer issues. It's loving to share what you expect. It is not loving to have expectations that you did not let the other person know you had. Because then they won't do it, or if they do it, it's by accident, and then you get frustrated when they don't do it, and now you have a big problem. Because you're all mad that they should have known. Well, they don't know. The loving thing to do is to share that information. That is why you have a Bible. That's why you have the Scriptures. In his tremendous love, he gave instruction to people to know how to have a relationship with himself and with each other. I know I joke sometimes about how having a gym membership hasn't lost me any weight. Why is that, though? Because you have to go. And then when you're there, you have to actually lift the weights. You have to do the workout. But do you work out your inner man? Well, I pray every day. Well, that absolutely is a part of it. Well, I read the Word. Well, that's a part of it. And you say, well, why is he saying it with that tone of voice? Because all of you pray and all of you study and you're still struggling with the inner man. No, the way you win, let me rephrase that. There's something I want to say, but I'll say something first. In order to strengthen the inner man, you have to win the battlefield of the mind. The mind is what? Thoughts and emotions. That means in feeling that he loves you. Let's start with recognizing, because that may be a weak area, that the Creator actually loves you. That may be a weakness. I've talked to people who look at me like, how could he love me? You don't know what I've done. I said, but he does, and he called you anyway. What do you mean, how can he love you? Well, I don't want to sound condescending when I say that. He does. You have to embrace it, but he does love you. He's not torturing you by teasing you with something you'll never have. And saying, hey, there's an eternal life kingdom out here. Ha ha, you don't get it because you're a loser. And you never amount to anything. You're just nothing. That is not the creator of the universe. And you know that. So we have to figure out, can we first embrace that he loves us? And have that be grounded and deep roots. Because a lot of the things we react to, a lot of the things the ways we respond to things, demonstrates that we don't believe that he loves us. And so that's where it talks about the Messiah dwelling in our hearts. Well, I got the Ruach. I'm born again. I'm all these whatever titles you want to say. I'm saved. I'm born again. I was baptized. Or I received the Spirit. Whatever words you use from back in Christianity. All of that may or may not have anything to do with the truth. It may all be true, whatever it is. But the thing is, what does it actually mean to have Messiah dwelling in your heart? Well, he says, let the mind of Messiah dwell in you. Let this mind be in you. In you where? In your heart. So that you desire to do the things he desires to do. He says, I don't want to do anything except what the Father wants me to do. Do you have that same mind? Sometimes. And sometimes you don't. When you don't, it's because what? The inner man is weak in that area. When you do, the inner man is strong in that area. And so now we have to ask ourselves, is this relevant today? And we have to see what's after the until to know if it's already been accomplished or not. He said, he did this to be done until something, which means until that something, it's still relevant, valid, necessary, whatever it is. He gave these people these roles until something. So what's the until? Until we all come to the unity of the belief. Has that happened? No. Belief in what? And of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim. Has that happened? No. To a perfect man? No. To the measure of the stature of the completeness of Messiah? No. So that we should not be no longer the children that are tossed and borne about by every wind of trickery and teaching and everything else and cleverness, etc. No. None of these things have happened yet. In individuals, yes. But it says until we all come. That hasn't happened yet. To walk worthily of the calling with which you were called. That word worthily messes a lot of people up. Well, Rabbi, that sounds like earning something. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner. Brilliant. Yes, there are things you have to earn. Oh, but that's wrong, Rabbi, because it says that we have salvation free of charge. I never said salvation had anything to do with it. Salvation's free. The reward is earned. In all of life, you have learned that there are rewards out there that you can earn. Some jobs, some employers dangle them out there and say, if you reach this level, there's a reward out here that you may want to get. The Father does the same with us. You have a life you're living. Guess what? If you live it a certain way, you can live forever. That's a reward. All of you, I know it's hard to really be honest about this, but I'm going to try to get you to be honest. You did not do all that you're doing because of some emotional thing, thinking, well, I just love the Creator and I just love Messiah. No. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying that's not why you're doing this. You're doing this not because you love them, but because you want to live forever. You want all the pain to go away. You're tired of being miserable, and you want joy. You want every tear wiped away. And I'm not saying it's wrong to feel that way. He offers that as the motivator. And because of that, you love him. Wow, how could you not love someone that would give you all that? But he has expectation. He doesn't want to live with a bunch of out-of-control, emotional, misfit, non-submissive people forever. You're going to have to grow in the inner man. It doesn't say each one was given the exact same thing or the exact same amount. Even Messiah in his parable says, to one was given 10, to one was given 1, to one was given 5, whatever it was, right? And so, not everybody was given the same. But notice that it's what you do with it that they're watching, not how many you started with. But you want to focus on what you were started with and compare your start from other people's start. Well, they've got this advantage and they got that advantage, and I don't have this, or blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't matter what he gave you to start with. All of the way that the message comes across, the parables, the instructions, everybody's writings, is that he's watching what you do with it. It's not about how much he gave you to start. Because there are those that he gave a lot and they did nothing with it. Others he gave very little and he did amazing things with it.